The results of FP2 are here, but the story truly begins earlier. After FP1, the entire MotoGP paddock buzzed with an air of unpredictability. Many riders we expected to comfortably make it into Q2 seemed at risk. Others we doubted were suddenly threatening the elite. But in the midst of that chaos, there was one man who reasserted control. Marc Márquez, the 8-time world champion, now dressed in Ducati red, shattered Jorge Martin's all-time Le Mans lap record. Márquez dropped a hammer blow of 1 minute 29 seconds and 8/10, a time so blistering that no one else even came close. Pecco Bagnaia, the 2-time world champion and Márquez's factory Ducati teammate, showed flashes of his usual brilliance late into the session. But it was Fabio Quartararo, fueled by the cheers of his home crowd, who managed to wedge himself between the two Ducati titans, clocking a magnificent 1 minute 30 flat to finish second. Pecco Bagnaia slotted into third. A surprise name followed: Fermin Aldeguer. The Gresini rookie showed outstanding composure and speed, narrowly missing a top 3 spot, losing a few tenths in Sector 4, but showing the kind of form that explains why he's considered one of the future stars. Right behind him, the current World Championship leader, Alex Marquez, kept the Gresini charge alive by locking in 5th place. Consistency remains Alex's deadliest weapon this season. Jack Miller, revitalized on the Pramac Yamaha project, continued to show visible improvements, finishing just outside the top 5. Pedro Acosta and Maverick Vinales were the only KTM riders to make it directly into Q2 from FP1, placing 7th and 8th. Vinales, notably, was running second behind Marc Márquez before a frustrating late-session crash robbed him of a chance to improve further. Franco Morbidelli found his place on the timesheets at 9th, his VR46 Ducati singing through the twisty Le Mans corners. Behind him, Marco Bezzecchi barely edged out the likes of Luca Marini and Johan Zarco, snatching the final direct Q2 spot. For Zarco, the home hero, it was heartbreak. A late crash cost him dearly, meaning he would have to fight through Q1, a brutal reality for a rider with podium hopes. Moving into FP2, the temperature rose. The stakes rose even higher. Marc Márquez completed a Friday practice sweep at the French GP by setting a new official lap record in FP2. His dominance wasn't as overwhelming this time. The half-second cushion from the morning shrunk to just 0.177 seconds. And the man closing that gap? Fabio Quartararo. The Yamaha star, still fighting against the odds with a bike that's struggling to keep up with Ducati's might, was electrifying around his home track. Pecco Bagnaia followed closely, only 0.184 seconds off his teammate. The fight at the front looked tight, closer than it's been in many recent Fridays. Behind them, Fermin Aldeguer once again impressed by sealing 4th. The Spanish rookie is making a serious case for being more than just a future star. He is a present threat. Alex Marquez continued his title-leading consistency by securing 5th, underlining Gresini's strength. Jack Miller, Pedro Acosta, Maverick Vinales, Franco Morbidelli, and Marco Bezzecchi rounded out the top 10, all securing their places in Q2. Vinales, despite a fall midway through the session, held on to 8th, a quiet but powerful reminder of his undeniable raw speed when he's confident. Johan Zarco and Brad Binder weren't so lucky. Both suffered crashes that left them vulnerable and out of the top 10, meaning a brutal Q1 awaits. A quick technical update. The warmer afternoon temperatures pushed almost every rider onto a hard front tire but kept the rear soft. Managing tire life is going to be critical this weekend, especially if Sunday's rain does arrive. Early on in FP2, Quartararo topped the timesheets. The Yamaha man looked smooth, aggressive, and determined. But then, as if scripted, Marc Márquez unleashed another time attack masterpiece, reclaiming P1 right before the midway point and setting the fastest time of the entire day. Behind the scenes, drama unfolded. Raul Fernandez crashed again, this time at the start of FP1. Ogura, riding the Trackhouse Aprilia, also had a tumble in the afternoon session. Yet for Marc Márquez, the weekend's mission remains clear: redemption. After the painful crash at Jerez, a crash that many expected to shatter his momentum, Marc appears even stronger. He's using a revised chassis this weekend, seeking better front-end feel and more agility, and the early signs suggest he's unlocked a new level of control. FP1 had its own stories to tell too. Marc Márquez led by half a second in the morning, ahead of Brad Binder's KTM. Binder, who fitted new rubber for his final push, showed serious intent, even if the raw pace still leaned Ducati's way. Alex Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia completed the early top four. There was no hiding the fact that Ducati, even in its non-prime hours, remained the gold standard. Rookie Ogura lit up the session with a stunning late fifth place, pushing Fabio Quartararo to sixth. Johan Zarco, looking sharp early on, faded slightly to eighth after Franco Morbidelli's late heroics. Fermin Aldeguer and Maverick Vinales closed out the top 10. Injuries and returnees. Pedro Acosta rode through lingering pain after arm pump surgery. Samkiat Chantra, however, had to sit out the weekend as he continues to recover. Miguel Oliveira made a welcome return after missing 3 rounds with a shoulder injury. Meanwhile, reigning world champion Jorge Martin continues to be absent. The man who won last year's championship with Pramac Ducati and now rides for factory Aprilia is being replaced this weekend by Aprilia test rider Lorenzo Savadori. In another heartwarming sight, Takaki Nakagami is back, making a wildcard appearance for Honda after retiring from full-time competition last year. Big picture. After Ducati equaled Honda's legendary record of 22 consecutive GP wins, they now stand on the brink of making history. A win on Sunday would give Ducati the outright record for consecutive GP wins. And what sweeter place to do it than at Le Mans? But this isn't the same Ducati domination story anymore. The French GP weekend feels different. Yamaha, through Quartararo, is fighting back. Gresini, powered by Alex Marquez and rookie sensation Aldeguer, looks sharper than ever. Even KTM, through the bravery of Acosta and the flashes of Vinales, refuses to be counted out. And amid it all, there is a haunting sense that weather might yet decide everything. Forecasts predict potential rain on Sunday, a wild card that could shuffle the deck completely. The human battle, beyond the lap times and sectors, MotoGP 2025 is writing one of its richest stories. Marc Márquez, the man who chose to walk away from Honda loyalty and comfort, fights not just for wins but for a final historic chapter with Ducati. It's a chapter Ducati chose to write, choosing him over Jorge Martin. A decision still stirring emotions across the paddock. Pecco Bagnaia, still a double world champion, fights to prove he remains Ducati's true heart and soul, even as the shadow of Marc grows. Alex Marquez, once the forgotten brother, now leads the world championship with stunning consistency and maturity. Fermin Aldeguer surges forward, part of a generational change that seems inevitable. Fabio Quartararo, carrying the weight of an entire nation, clings desperately to every tenth of performance Yamaha gives him. And in the background, the likes of Jack Miller, Maverick Vinales, and Johan Zarco, warriors without the best weapons, continue to show the world that heart sometimes beats machine. Closing thoughts. This isn't Ducati's championship anymore. It's MotoGP's championship, a brawl of ambition, redemption, and transformation. The French GP weekend, from FP1 to FP2, already feels like it will be one of the defining battles of the season. We have a Marc Márquez who is faster than ever, but no longer untouchable. We have a Pecco Bagnaia who won't back down, even if the walls close in. We have a Fabio Quartararo who refuses to surrender. And just maybe, we have a storm coming, both on the track and in the sky above Le Mans.